countless champions have been crowned throughout the history of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! But what about the underdogs, the dark horses, the decks that upon first glance make you question everything you thought you knew about the game? In this series, both MBT and myself will be showcasing some of Yu-Gi-Oh's wackiest unsung heroes. Each episode will feature new decks, new strategies, and the results will be unpredictable. You've seen the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!, but this is the history of Jank. If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMOOOOO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content.
Now I know what you're thinking. Joseph, you just played Zefra on actual history. How could it possibly be that much worse? Well, let me introduce you to Doc's Zefra Yangzing. Now there's one card missing from this if you've watched history, and it is a little card called Zefra. That card really was the glue that held this deck together. Prior to it, we were playing this. Well, if you're unfamiliar, Zefra is an order of monsters, I think specifically conscripted to fight the evil forces of evil in dual terminal. Listen, all the details of that storyline are a little fuzzy to me, but as a result, they pulled upon a bunch of different archetypes to form Zefrified versions of them. Most notably, Zefraxi, Treasure of the Yangzing, and Zefranui, Secret of the Yangzing. These cards played very well in a pendulum strategy, but also played very well with existing Yangzing monsters, Suwani, Jiaotu, Bixi, and Chiwen, alongside Bian for quick synchros. It turns out that these cards really bolstered the capabilities of Yangzing and turned it from a deck that absolutely had to find creation or die into a deck that can make proactive plays by pendulum summoning a bunch of monsters at once. Missing are the combos enabled by Supreme King Dragon Darkworm, or Heavy Metal Foes Electromite, or Zefrath, because none of those cards had been released yet. At present, we're basically just trying to make a bunch of very powerful synchro monsters and hope for the best. So with that, let me walk you through the card by card. We've got 3 Archfiend Eccentric, just generally good in most pendulum decks, a Bion, 2 Bixi, triple Chiwen, triple Jiaotu, Satellar Knight Zefraxiton, Satellar Knight Zefrathubin, double Suwani, triple Zefranui, triple Zefraxi, triple Chicken Game, triple Oracle of Zefra, 3 Terraforming, 3 Upstart Goblin, 3 Yangzing Path, a Vanities, and a Divine Strike in the side. We've got Droll and Lockbird, Darkhole Raigeki, Wavering Eyes, Triple Imperial Ironwall, and Max C. And in the extra, we've got a bunch of 7s, 3 8s in Triple Baxia, Qiaofang, Yazi, Void Ogre, Stardusts, Trishula, pretty much the kitchen sink of white monsters. So with that, here's Alex.
Well, we're back in the tank, and it's fitting that we are playing Psy-frame of all things. Historically, I have never liked this deck for one reason or another. Maybe it's just like the play style, because it's not like Omega is a bad card or Gamma is a bad card, but I feel like a lot of the time just not a lot's happening, and I guess like from a just like game design perspective, it just doesn't seem fun. It's like, instead of one person doing everything to like lock the other person out of playing the game, a lot of the times the games boil down to, if your opponent knows you're playing Psy-frame, they're going to do as little as possible so that your deck can't function because of how reactive Psy-frame actually is. And so I don't know, it requires a very unique appetite, if you will, if you want to play something like this. So let's do the card by card. Maybe this will actually play out better than I think, but we'll see. So first of all, we have card D in here just because we need to draw a million cards. I'll start with actually the Psy-frames because these are the most important. So if you know Psy-frame, Gear, Gamma, all the other Gear cards actually have the exact same effect, except they negate specific types of cards. So for instance, Delta has the same effect as Gamma, except it negates spell cards. And if you don't remember, it can't be a normal summoned or set, and it must be special summoned by a card effect. When your opponent activates a monster effect, or in the case of Delta, a spell card, while you control no monsters, quick effect, special summon both this and a Psy-frame driver, which is just a vanilla 6, to your side of the field. And if you do, negate that activation, and if you do that, destroy that monster. During the end phase, banish this face-up monster special summoned by this effect, both this and the driver. So that's what these two do, but there's some other ones as well. We're not playing Epsilon, which negates traps, but we are playing both Alpha and Beta. So Alpha is sort of a starter for this deck. It has the same clause as the rest, but when your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can special summon this in driver and then also add a Psy-frame card from deck to hand. Beta is a battle fader, which is fitting because it has the B in the name, and when your opponent declares an attack while you control no monsters, special summon this and the driver, and then you negate the attack and the battle phase. I think you destroy the monster too, don't you? Yeah, you you actually destroy the attacking monsters. That's pretty sick. And so with this, you're aiming to use these as synchro material to go into either Psy-frame Lord Zeta if you use Alpha or Beta, because these are level 1 tuners, or Psy-frame Lord Omega if you use Gamma or Delta, because they're level 2 tuners. Now, you might be thinking, okay, all these require you to have no monsters on the field, so once you do this one time, you're going to be stuck with one of these guys on the field, and then what? Well, especially if you're going second, as a matter of fact, you're not even going to get to synchro in the first place, so how do you remedy that? Well, that's what the field spell's for, Psy-frame Circuit. So if a Psy-frame monster is special summoned to your side of the field, except damage step, you can immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon a synchro monster. Doesn't have to be a Psy-frame monster, using only Psy-frame monsters you control, and it also has another effect that at the start of the damage step, if a Psy-frame monster you control battles an opponent's monster, discard a Psy-frame monster, your battling monster gains attack equal to the discarded monster's attack till the end of this turn. Honestly, that seldom comes up. What matters is that during your opponent's turn, let's say you gamma one of their effects, you summon Driver, Circuit triggers, you immediately go into Omega. Omega's effect banishes it, and then that way you get rid of a card out of your opponent's hand. Now you have no monsters again, and all your Psy-frame gears are back online that you can continuously do this, because none of these are once per turns. The rest of the deck is just cards to get us to these. So we have Card D as our only normal summon, just to draw us 2 cards. Max C draws us cards and also slows the opponent down. Chicken Game draws us cards. Duality theoretically draws us cards, but it actually excavates if we're going to be proper about it. Terraforming gets us a Chicken Game, which draws us cards. And then we have a couple other random cards here. Psychic Feel Zone is kind of cool. You select 2 of your remove from play monsters, a Psychic Tuner and non-tuner, return them to the graveyard, and then special summon a Psychic Synchro from your extra deck and face-up defense. So what's neat about this is that this actually allows you to use when your Gammas can't actually convert into Omegas or anything like that. This lets you actually start getting Synchro monsters and mounting pressure on your opponent's side of the field in the instance where Circuit isn't able to Synchro during their turn and these monsters end up getting banished. Then we have Psy-frame Overload, which is actually a crazy-ass card. Once per turn, you can banish a Psy-frame monster from your hand or field, target a card on the field, banish it face down, which, as you all know, banishing face down is one of the hardest things to interact with, and this may be one of the first cards that actually did that, as a matter of fact. And then during either player's turn, except the turn this was sent to the graveyard, banish this card from your graveyard, add a Psy-frame card from deck to hand. So this is removal and Rhoda, and if you absolutely have to, this can clear monsters on your field so that way your gears can trigger because you can't have any monsters in order for you to do that. Last card's Torrential because board wipes. The extras, of course, every level 7 and 8 synchro that we can think of. So Fairy Dragon's pretty good because it can actually let us convert Chicken Game into something like Circuit. Black Rose is funny because you can Black Rose on your opponent's turn. Unfortunately, that gets rid of Circuit, but if that's like a last resort play you have to make, theoretically, it clears your board so you can keep making stuff like, Gamma or anything like that. You have Crimson Blader, you have Michael, you have Overmind Archfiend, which this card has literally never seen the light of day. Triple Omega, Triple Zeta. Zeta's like the inferior Omega in almost every conceivable way, but it's not bad. It's fine. Then we have Stardust, Thought Ruler Archfiend, and Yazi as well. The side deck is like fine. It's Flying Sea. Wind Up Rabbit's cute because like theoretically it's a monster that you can summon, get in some damage, and then get rid of it so you have no monsters on the field and it comes back next turn. So it's a way to mount a bit of offensive pressure if you absolutely have to. Double Dark Hole and Raigeki, triple MST, and triple Mistake rounds it out. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's just not the most interesting gameplay a lot of the time because if you know how to play around this deck, it can be quite grueling. But it can also be grueling for the opponent if they have to play into it because when this deck goes off, it is actually something to see. So hopefully we get to show that off. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not make you wait any longer. It's time to duel. Well, Joseph, it was fun while it lasted, playing 2 actual good decks, although the way we played them may not have been a true representation of that. This week, we're back to, I don't know, your deck is actually kind of good. My deck is terrible.
I was going to say, I'm pretty happy with what I'm playing. Honestly, I'm happy anytime I get to roll out Zefra. This deck's a lot of fun.
That's fair. My plan is to make your life as miserable as possible because that is what this deck does best.
Aw, so, thanks, buddy.
Right? I mean, that's basically what we do on a weekly basis when we film in any case. Shout out the patron, Wide Heart is Slacker. Thank you for the support. Do you have the hand up, sir?
Yes.
I rolled a 4, the number of Psy-frame drivers I wish I probably had in my deck.
I threw up a 4.
Woo! Man, you rock, paper, scissors wise, I feel like you've been on a huge loss. But at least you are now out of the Jank tank. Yeah. So this is weird.
No,
I'm playing Psy-frame Do I want to go first? I can just let you go first and just interact. I guess the only trade-off is I could set up like the field spell. So actually, I'll try going first, but I don't know if this is correct.
Could be just
admittedly,
passing, but you know, who knows?
It could be. Ryan Levine, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I will try my best. Okay, it's all fine. We have circuit.
God.
Go ahead.
Of course. All right, so here's the bad news. My hand is insane, but it requires me to commit to stuff, so it's actually terrible. I'm just gonna set one pass.
Okay. Now, you might identify that there's a problem specifically with Psy-frames.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. Okay, stand by main. I activate Vanity's Emptiness.
What the fuck am I supposed to do about this?
Well, if you have Epsilon.
I don't I literally don't have Epsilon, yeah?
All right, I will normal summon Zefraxiton and attack for 19.
I literally think I am just fucking dead.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Go ahead.
Card D.
Yes.
I will activate card
Yeah, keep drawing, buddy. Keep drawing.
Go ahead.
So you got 7 cards in hand, buddy.
I do have 7 cards in hand. You're right. I will get rid of another circuit.
Okay. Wow.
Fun gameplay.
Oh, yeah. I'm having fun.
I bet you are. I bet you are. Okay. I will set a card and pass.
Yeah, I wonder what that could be.
I will activate Psy-frame Overload.
Yeah.
So thankfully, this deck does have a way to deal with stuff like this. So I will banish a Psy-frame. I'm deciding on which one. We'll get rid of Beta, and this will banish your Zefraxiton face down.
You have to banish it from your hand, right?
Banish it, yeah, sorry. I think I said banish, and I put it in the graveyard by accident. Okay, we have a game. Uh-oh. I'll draw.
I just gotta run you out of Psy-frames, baby.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, that's true. We'll go Overload. I'll pitch Banish Delta. Let me be specific. I'll get rid of Vanity's Emptiness.
Fuck. Okay. All right.
And we'll pass.
Okay. Stand by me. Fuck, I want to do this. Upstart. That's interesting. Terraforming. We'll grab Oracle of Zefra.
Sure.
Chicken Game.
Chicken Game's fine.
I'll draw a card.
Yep.
We're going to do it again. Oracle of Zefra.
I will Delta this. So this comes out. I get Driver. This will trigger Circuit. So since I special summoned a Psy-frame, we just immediately get to sync off now.
Yep.
And we will make good old Omega.
Yeah.
This zone does not exist yet. We are not in history. We will turn player priority. Do you have anything, first of all? Okay. We will Omega.
Sure.
And we'll hit a card out of your hand. We'll hit this one.
I really needed that asshole. Okay. Let's go Oracle of Zefra.
Second Zefra. That's pretty good. That is fine. That resolves.
Fuck. Okay, how do I want to do this? I'm going to grab Zefraxi.
Sure.
I'm going to scale Zefraxi. I'm going to flip summon Zefra Thubin. I will activate the effect targeting my Zefraxi and your circuit.
That is annoying, but I think it will. You've still got 1,000,000 cards in hand. You haven't normaled yet.
Yep.
I know you added the Zefraxi off Oracle. So I should not know anything in your hand.
That's correct.
I'm going to regret this. I'll Gamma.
Ooh, God.
Okay. We'll get another Driver. One time you like seeing Driver in this deck. Circuit triggers again.
Yes, it does.
Go for another Omega. We'll go Omega. I don't know why I keep putting it there, but whatever. Let's hit this one.
Come on, man. Let's set one and pass.
During your end phase, I will Overload, banish the back row. I'll draw. Stand by. These Omegas come back.
Yep.
You get your Jiao2 and your Chi-Wen back. Main one.
Yes.
You're on 7K. What I'm like really afraid of here. I think you might just be dead. I'll activate Psychic Feel Zone.
Oh, come on.
I'm going to put Driver and Delta back for a third Omega.
Yep, that'll do it.
And that's game. Wow. Holy shit.
Did not miss this. I fucking hate these cards, man.
I'm not gonna lie. This actually doesn't feel too bad.
No, it's that's the worst part of all this. It's damn good.
Yeah.
Okay. Oracle.
Yeah. The best thing you can do is go first and hope that I don't have anything. So,
Well,
let's
even
see.
if you do have something, you can't immediately convert into a fucking Omega. Oh, boy. I just gotta gun it. Jiao to effect.
Yo, we're going for it, huh?
Yeah.
I'll maxi this.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I was like, as long as it's not Gamma. All right, you get 1 off this, motherfucker.
It was a very juicy, yes, it's a double summon, I'm aware. Very juicy Gamma target, but no. Fortunately, you're good.
The problem is I also kind of want to go second, but... God.
I mean, you at least have, like, a counter trap you can set up. You've got some things you can do.
I don't know how I'm setting up the counter trap. We are going to activate Zefraxi to make Zefra a tuner? No, I don't think I'm even doing that. God, I've got some really good lines. All your monsters are light, right?
They are all lights. Yep. Aside from Maxi.
I could set up an Earth Chow Fang. That would be pretty good. No Danglong yet.
Or it's banned. One or the other.
I can't target himself. All right, we will not activate Zefraxi here.
No tuner for you.
We're going to make Void Ogre Dragon here.
I'll get a draw.
We'll go Oracle of Zefra.
Which lets you stack.
Stack.
Yeah, that's fine.
We are going to stack Satellar Knight Zephyr Thuban.
And actually, when you Void Ogre, I'm going to Psy-frame Gear Alpha as well.
What does this do?
So when you normal or special summon, I can special summon it and Driver, and then I can add a Psy-frame card from deck to hand.
I'm not happy about it, but sure.
So we'll get a Driver. And with Alpha, I will take a Gamma. And then typical Psy-frame text, they'll get banished at the end.
We are going to set, scale, and pass.
Just so you can have Void Ogre online.
Yes.
I see. All right, so end phases get banished.
Yep.
Which is fine. And we'll draw. Go standby main.
Oh, good.
We'll go chicken game. Chicken game to draw.
Yep.
We'll go terraforming. Grab circuit.
Yep.
We'll circuit.
You added Gamma, huh? That's fine.
I did add Gamma. Dark hole.
Oh, come on. Oh, I should note this guy's banished from Jiao too. I have to let this go. Yeah.
Sure. In that case, we're chilling.
Fuck, man, you're killing me here. Nothing resembling something good we can do here. Oracle?
Thankfully, you're playing you're playing against this deck.
Oracle here.
Oracle resolves.
Go like this. Zefraxi.
Gives you scales. Yeah, that's fine.
Zephyr War isn't out yet.
You just pass.
I know I'd really like to, but we're going to PS2.
I don't think we have extra monster zone yet.
We'll go Zephyr Nui.
Yeah, I'll Gamma.
Sure.
Then circuit effect.
I am turn player. Man.
Oh, it's a trigger.
I don't think there's a way I can do this. Oh, it's a hard one. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. You don't have a hand.
That's the play.
Omega is like, good, but you don't have a hand, so I don't know how good it is exactly. What else you got here? You pen summoned already. Thuban's just kind of chilling. Yeah, I'll make Omega. Proceed.
That's it. Go ahead.
All right, I'll draw. Standby main. I mean, I can, hit Thuban, and then you can just, pen summon again? That's annoying. Yep. Yeah, whatever.
I put that guy in the extra monster zone. That didn't exist.
Second main. Whoops. Apparently, psychologically, I thought I was doing the same thing. I'll just set one.
Oh, come on, man. Anything in standby?
So I have to do this in main, but you obviously have turn player priority to do one thing. So I need to think about how I want to do this. I will overload.
Yeah.
Banish this. I'm just going to roll for it, honestly. It could go either way. I'll hit Zefraxi.
Yeah.
And you may proceed to main one. We'll draw.
Yep.
Let's go duality.
Oh, yeah.
Awkward just because I can't get this Omega out of my zone, but I don't need a field spell, so I'll get rid of these. I took Delta.
Yep.
I'll try for overload on the back row.
No response.
28.
Yep.
And we're good.
Standby main.
You are good to proceed.
Eccentric.
That gives you no scales.
Yep.
Pop something. All it does is just pop my overload. Do I care about this? I can't kill you yet. Fuck it. I'll overload.
No
Banish
response.
it.
Wait, what's the banish for overload?
It was beta.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, alpha.
Duality's fine.
Did great by accident. Yep.
Oh, whoa. Hey, you can't do alpha. It's hand or face up field.
What do you mean?
For overload, right? Oh, did you pitch it? It just didn't go to banish?
I pitched it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Yeah. I went to grave by accident. We'll take another delta.
Yeah.
We'll go 28.
Yep.
Main 2, I'll overload just to take out your other scale. And go ahead.
Chicken game.
I mean, would you like to activate?
Yeah. Gain 1,000.
To gain 1,000? Sure.
Go ahead.
Overload?
Well, we tried.
Oh my god.
Oh my
wow.
god. Jesus Christ, this was agony. Was that 2 games?
That was 2 games. Yeah.
Do the
we saw
third
the third
one, I
one
guess?
to go, buddy. Yeah. You don't sound very happy.
No,
about
this
it.
sucks. Holy fuck.
Talk about death by 1,000 cuts that last game. Do you want to go first or second?
I'm going to try first again. I feel like if I fiend shit out of you, at least you don't get to make Omega.
Yeah, that makes sense. Where's my quick play field spell activator? That'd be nice.
Let's go chicken game.
Sure.
Oh. Terraforming. Oracle.
Okay.
Oracle. Fucking. Oh, boy. This is a rough one regardless, I think. I'm going to get Zefraxy, but okay. I'm just going to set 1 and pass, I think.
Sure. I'll draw. Let's set 1.
Yep.
Actually, no, we don't need to do that. I'm sorry. We'll go chicken game.
Yeah.
I'll pay 1,000.
Yep.
Draw. We'll go circuit.
Circuit's fine.
Set 1. Card car.
Oh, man, dude.
All good?
Yeah.
We'll draw 2. That puts us to 5. And over to you.
Stand by me. We'll scale eccentric here.
That's annoying.
We will target circuit. Oh, I didn't think we were getting that far. Let's normal summon, or let's scale. Let's normal Zefraxiton and activate the effect targeting the set card and the Zefraxy.
We'll chain it. It is overload. I'll get rid of this beta. And you're already getting rid of this Zefraxy. I don't know how much you even care about the rest of this. Guess get rid of this Zefraxiton, I guess. This just gets destroyed.
Go ahead.
All right, we'll draw.
Yeah.
Terraforming.
Yeah.
Another circuit.
Yep.
We will banish overload.
Yeah.
This thing has a rota on top of it, which is insane.
Yes, it does.
Any Psy-frame card that is not overload. If only it could search itself, that would be insane.
Well, it kind of can.
Kind of, yeah, in like a weird way. Delta?
Yeah.
And we're chilling. Go ahead. Oh, circuit.
Yeah.
Chilling. Go ahead.
Delta's a level 2.
Delta's a 2.
We will go Oracle.
I like how we just keep changing the field spell. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, actually, no, what am I doing? I'm deltaing this. Fuck that.
All right, we will go Divine Strike here.
Sure, that's pretty good.
Get that motherfucker
So
out
this
there.
gets banished? No, destroyed.
Destroyed, yeah. We are going to grab... Fucking hell, dude. Zefra Thubin.
Okay.
Normal Zefra Thubin.
You can't use the effect because you don't have another Teller Zefra card. We'll go Alpha.
Oh, come on. I figured because you hadn't searched
done anything,
but that's fine.
Yeah, that'd be a good reason. We'll get Driver.
Yeah.
Then Alpha will finish resolving. It's weird. I want Overload. Yeah, we'll get Overload. It's probably too good not to get. Then Circuit Trigger.
Yeah.
Get these guys out of here. Unfortunately, it's a 7, so a bit more limited on what we can make. You have what? Thubin, a set, and a back row. We'll bring out Zeta.
Yeah. Okay, I have a play now. Chiwen.
Ooh, I see. Yeah. You can take a shit ton of damage. Sure.
25. We will grab Suwani, or Zefraxy. Go Zefraxy, target Zefra Thubin. Let's go Zefraxy, Zefraxiton for Yazi.
Pretty good. Sure.
And then we'll go Oracle Effect.
To stack. Yeah.
Yes. Let's put Zephyr Nui on top. don't do shit. Man, is it worth popping Zeta or Circuit? Popping Zeta gives you access to fucking guys again. I wish I had another Zefra, or a Yangzing card, rather. Special worm monster. Did we normal? We did normal.
You did normal the Zefra dude.
Man, I wish that guy was a fucking 4-star. I could have made Baxia. Would have actually done something. Let's go Yazi, target himself, and regrettably, it's got to be Circuit.
Sure.
Let's go Yazi effect. A worm monster. Oh, man. I really want to get him, but I can't. We'll get Mare. That'd be crazy, right?
In main phase 2, I don't think so. Also, without link monsters, I don't think so.
We'll get Beyond. And we'll pass.
We're chilling. I'll draw. We will set one and pass.
Sure you don't want to attack? I'd really appreciate it.
I could, but I would appreciate not attacking, considering you just get another guy. So, and then it triggers your Chi Wen. So,
Yes,
nice try.
That better not be fucking overload. All right, let's go normal Bixie.
What is this? 5? You know you can have a tuner. Yeah, this is fine.
Combat.
Gonna crash. Trying to make a big old play here.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
You can take the 25. That is fine.
Hell yeah. Bixie effect. We'll grab... Who cares, honestly? Suwani, and we'll trigger Chiwen. Anything here?
I guess we'll Zeta
Yeah.
the Suwani.
Sagame. Ooh.
Who are we making?
A Herald.
I mean, that seems okay.
Yangzing Path.
Oh my god.
You have no idea how long I've been waiting to activate this. Okay, all right. Wow. God, I don't ask you for much. I ask you here for scales. That's 1 scale. That's not enough scales. All right. I did normal this turn. It was the Bixie.
Yep.
I'll just pass.
Overload, target, Arclight.
We'll try for Arclight.
And I do have a Gamma.
Ah, you got it. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
2
these are
Gammas,
painful.
actually. Wow.
Oh, jeez.
I'll admit, in the past, I have disrespected this deck, but holy shit, this deck is actually kind of crazy.
No, this deck's insane. We're in the portion of Jank where we're playing decks that weren't necessarily meta, but did have tops. And Psy-frame did have tops. It has a whole host of regional tops. I think it actually has a YCS top as well, but nothing.
So.
Yeah, nothing resembling the other decks in the format, of course. You know, and it's for the reason that you saw there. I'll do Zefra real quick because it's real
Yeah, let's do
fast.
Zefra first.
The short of it is that Zefra Nui is a really good card. Zefra Divine Strike is a really good card. That's it. Lack of link monsters means that you don't really get to do any cool, flashy combos. You're basically just trying to find as many Zefras as possible and then pendulum summon them all out every turn. That's fine, but that's something that other decks do better during this period. Cleafort, for instance. Even like the Ignite decks that were just trying to cheese out wins kind of accomplished this more effectively. And you don't really have access to a lot of the generic stuff that other decks do because you can't pendulum summon anything. There's only 4 good pendulums during this period. For it, Zefra Nui, Zefraxi, and the Satellar Knight Zefras. Outside of that, we're playing Yangzings, doing Yangzing Path shit, which is not good, especially because Danglong is not yet out. So we're in a position where we have to go second in order to take advantage of Yazi and Baxia, but we can't possibly go second because going second in a pendulum deck with such few numbers of pendulum scales into potential back row like Solemn Warning is a death sentence. And despite the fact that this deck does have a number of tops during this format, it doesn't have anything resembling the consistent metagame representation of any of the big 3 or even the Yangzing deck pure. It's just kind of the worst of both worlds in that regard.
It's fascinating, too, because in history of Yu-Gi-Oh!, we just recently actually showed off Zefra with Zefrath, and they just drop all the Yangzing stuff completely and just become this recursive pendulum strategy in that regard. And even then, at that time, yes, it sort of finds its footing better than, this amalgamation we're looking at here, but it still really isn't good enough to, compete with a lot of the tier 1 contenders at the time. It had tops, and people did well with it, but compared to the overall representation, it was it didn't have the power level. But you could get 2 pendulum summons, Joseph. It was possible.
In its defense, it had to compete with some of the most ludicrous FTK decks in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! During that format.
That is fair.
Yeah,
that is fair.
Better than it is now, but not fantastic either time.
Yeah, so Psy-frame. A lot of people know Gamma because Gamma is one of the most ludicrously broken hand traps ever printed, aside from the fact you have to play a brick and Psy-frame driver. But what if you just play all Psy-frames and then you play all drivers, so that way it's not as big of a brick because it's just going to be going to the graveyard as fast as humanly possible. And that's what we have here. So as you saw in the first game, there is an Achilles heel of this deck where if you do the minimal amount possible and just poke with a slightly large monster, you actually can just kill them because they cannot interact with that. The only card, we actually didn't get to show it off, that does is Psy-frame Beta, which actually is sort of like a battle fader in the Psy-frame archetype. But I did not have Beta at all. And so if I didn't get any way to stop you, like the Psy-frame Overload that I drew right at the perfect time, I would have been dead. So it's not that this deck isn't without its faults, but it's one of the most reactive decks ever printed because that literally is all the deck is. It is nothing but reactive cards except sans, your card cards, your terraformings, setting up the field spell. But aside from that, you're just passing and you just have to interrupt your opponent at key opportunities. And if you have the field spell up, as you saw in that first game especially, it can just get out of hand extremely quickly because since you're able to go into stuff like Omega, and then we saw in the last game Zeta, although Zeta was a little bit more awkward, they just get rid of themselves off the field, and then you're able to just summon more guys, and then next turn you bring back all your Omegas, and you just kill them for game because they have nothing left on the field. Pair that with a crazy powerful trap card in Psy-frame Overload, both removal and a Rhoda if it goes to the graveyard, and you have Psy-frame. And like I said, I have a newfound respect for this deck after playing it because it's pretty incredible just how powerful this deck is.
Yeah, no, this, in my opinion, probably could have been considered like a top 4 or 5 deck in its associated format. This is an opinion that only I have, by the way. But this deck is historically underexplored, which seems weird because the deck kind of builds itself. I think the reason is that it's just so mind-numbingly boring to both play with and against. This is a period when, Chicken Game is available at 3. It's a period when you can play 3 cardy, which is something no one was doing. Duality's out. The conventional wisdom is what you said, which is while this deck is very powerful at being reactive, if you are just never proactive, you have nothing to do. But not only does it have beta, when they summon that first monster, if you have alpha, you can immediately convert to the overload and just find the out there anyway. So you do have 9 outs in your 40 card deck, and your deck also has 3 dualities, 3 terraforming, and 3 chicken games. So, theoretically, they can just poke you to death. But in reality, there are a significant amount of ways to get out of that little circumstance. The real problem this deck had was Omega. Omega's a crazy good card, but like Trickstar, a couple of years later, this deck gets a lot less good when your opponent starts adapting. If they refuse to keep cards in your hand, your Omega can't get itself off the field, which prevents you from summoning additional Psy-frames. So when you summon,
as we saw you doing in the later games,
right? If you summon Omega and get into a position where you can't tag it out, you suddenly are kind of a sitting duck. This is where Overlord load comes into play by banishing your own Omega on your side of the field, but that feels pretty damn bad. A quality opponent can really take advantage of the weird nombos that this deck has like that, but it requires them to get there, and this deck really does prevent your opponent from getting anywhere a lot of the time. I think this deck's incredibly powerful. I think it's really historically underappreciated. It has tops during this period for a reason, and yeah, I'm glad we got to show it off. It's really, really stellar shit.
Yeah, I think you pointed it out best that it's not a fun deck that a lot of people like playing because when it comes to card games and period, people just like playing cards, right? And I think Psy-frame may play the least amount of cards of any deck in history just because most of the time you're just drawing and passing or maybe setting up a field spell. When your opponent actually starts doing things, that's when you can actually start playing the game. And I feel like a lot of people who would play Psy-frame don't have the patience to wait for that. And a lot of people playing against Psy-frame don't have the patience to try to like play the snail's pace game you have to play in order to play around literally everything the deck offers. And so it's like this weird double-edged sword that like favors the Psy-frame player in that regard, I feel like, if someone is actually choosing to play this deck. So I feel like you had to have the right personality to actually enjoy and appreciate playing this deck. But you also, and I think this is sort of one of the reasons why it kind of flew under the radar in the instances, is that it was a deck that a lot of people just didn't have experience playing against. And so it really preyed on, you know, your average level player, because if they didn't know how to interact with any of these cards, they'll suddenly find themselves just getting 2-0'd because they see 3 Omegas on the opposite side of the field and no cards left in hand. So, it'd be interesting if we went back in time and spent more time on this deck in its respective formats to see if it was actually powerful enough to be a contender at the time, or if, you know, we're looking at back on it with, you know, rose-tinted glasses and thinking just, damn, this deck's crazy. But in reality, it was just, you know, it was a above-average jank deck.
Yeah.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all of their continued support. So shout out to Shout1317, Tim00x3, MBT Play Medolce, Moto, Cameron L. Smith, Phoenix the Immortal, Pony Stark, The Synchro Guy, Dan the Man Hoban, Draconic, Little Fadeleaf, Dylan Hunter, Cody Brett's Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Flannel Daddy, Twinkle Muncher, Matthew Brady, Helios515. I've tried reading cards before. It was horrible, and my guinea pigs had to get me therapy. Cheeks McLapperty, Stolfin Amethyst, Wonder Waffle, MBT Cancel Bio Community soon, Cancel Bio Committee soon, Cancel Bio Players soon, Uncle Brian of Stardust, Nicholas Carpenter, Corvain, and Peyton McGrath. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time.